Today, we're going to build a quiz inside of HighLevel, and we're going to show you how you can score it and give different results to different customers. So stay tuned and build along with us. So I don't know if some of you know, but quizzes happen to be a great lead magnet that attracts people to your brand. And more importantly, you can segment your audience based on the way they respond to the quizzes. It's a great way to interact with your audience. It goes back and forth, meaning the customer puts in a question, they get a result. It's just a really good way to interact. Now, what this cool thing about the way we can do it inside of HighLevel is you can segment it based on the way that they score. So today we're going to build a very simple quiz in order to do that. And we're going to make it basically whether or not you're a dog lover. All right, so let's just jump right in. So when we first go in, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the actual value that we're going to store the quiz in. The reason I do that is because everybody's got to understand. We have something called a math function inside of HighLevel that we're going to leverage in order to keep the score of the actual quiz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the left-hand side and I'm going to go to settings. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a custom field. And the reason we're picking a custom field and not a custom value is because we want the score being specific to contacts. Custom fields, it stores basically all the customer information. So that's why we're going to use a custom field. So we're going to come over here. We're going to do the number value because it has to be a number in order for it to calculate. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to call it dog lover max score. The reason I'm going to put max in it is because we've already done this just to test it out to make sure. Now I'm going to put it in additional info. I can also create my own folder where I can call it the dog lover score. To keep it simple today, we're just going to put additional info and we're going to go ahead and hit save. Awesome. Now that that's done and I have my actual score value, let's now create the quiz. So we're going to go over to the left-hand side and we are going to go over to, we're actually going to go back here, go over to sites. In sites, we are going to go to surveys. And the reason I like surveys is when you're doing quizzes, it's better to do a survey because it's one page at a time versus being all at once, which in my opinion just works a little bit better. It looks a little good, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a survey and I'm going to start from scratch. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, do you need email and phone number? Now, the main purpose of doing a kind of quiz is to generate leads. Even if you're doing for fun, it still has to attach to a contact in order for the person to get their actual score. Because the way you want to do it is we don't have the ability yet to redirect people based on what they score inside. It is coming. We literally will do this video 2 weeks later, probably have something where it can automatically score inside the quiz, but we don't have that just yet. We have conditional logic, which means that you can go to one thing and another based on the questions that they answer. But what we're trying to do is trying to get a full quiz so we can give results back to the individual, right? And also segment it based on the way they score. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of name this real quick. So always name your quizzes because the thing about HighLevel, if you haven't heard us mention it before, is if you're not naming things right, what's going to happen is things are going to get very lost. It's very hard to navigate. So we put things in folders and we put things by naming them by in order, by numbers or whatever it is. So for instance, if this is going to be a dog quiz, we'll put DQ for dog quiz, right? And we'll put a 01 and we'll call it dog lover survey. Exactly what it's going to measure, right? Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here, but more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of HighLevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in HighLevel. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. Now, the other thing that I was mentioning about conditional logic and everything else, I'll get to that. But before everything that you need to understand on a quiz, the way it operates is left-hand side adds the values, right-hand side customizes the things that you're adding. So the first thing we're going to do is add our first question, right? So I like to add the question that I'm going to ask the customer because I want to make sure that they immediately start engaging in the quiz versus asking for their name or their email because some people might be turned off by that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to hit add. Now, the reason we're not using the quick add is because these are pre-made fields that are system. These you don't really want to mess with other than collecting the information that you want. Like for instance, if you want email, you move that over. If you want name, you want to move that over. So in our case, because we don't have a question for the dogs, what we're going to do is add a custom field and we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit add. Now I'm going to make this incredibly simple. I always like to do radio select when I'm doing a quiz because it's easier to grade. If you give the person the option of selecting multiple things, scoring becomes incredibly difficult and I don't recommend doing it. You don't need to do it, right? So I'm going to hit radio select because it only allows them to select one choice and I'm going to hit next. I'm going to come over here. I got to give the field a name. This is going to be the actual question. Do you like dogs or cats? Be honest. Okay. Come over here, additional info. This means that in the section of questions that I'm collecting for the customer, I want to make sure I put it in here because it just makes it easier for it to do it. You can also put it in a folder to make it super easy. Again, we can always move it later on. I'll actually show you guys how to do that a little bit later. But for instance, we're going to come over here. We're going to put dogs and then, I want to make sure we spell that right. Dogs, and then come over here, cats. And we're just going to leave it as 2 questions, right? First initial question. And again, name is the name of the question. The additional field, we put in additional info. You can also create your own group. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to hit save. Awesome. Field added successfully. Now, notice how this was additional info. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it went from 40 to 41. So we're going to click on 41. And the only not cool part about this is if you have a lot of questions, you got to click all the way down at the bottom. And we come in here and do you like dog or cats? I'm going to move that over. Notice really simple question. And notice that I'm doing it in a slide. So first slide is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a second slide where I'm going to add my second question. Now I'm going to actually come over here real quick and I'm going to hit save because I'm not liking that I have to search all those fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder in the custom field area. So I saved my survey right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit back. When I hit back, I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to go to settings again, and I'm going to go to custom fields. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to folder and add a folder, and we're going to put dog lover quiz. All right. So then we can segregate this stuff, and I'm going to just hit save. All right. Now that I created a folder, what I'm going to do is find that question I just did. So do you like dogs or cats? Be honest. This is my question. And what I can do is now that I found my question, I want to put it in a folder. I come over here, add an action, and I'm going to move it to the group. Group just means I'm going to select the folder. And now I have dog lover quiz. All right. So now I have it where I have it in the dog lover quiz. Super easy. As you can see now, if I come in here, I have it right in here. It's a radio button. It's all set. So now I can start putting all the questions that I create inside the survey into here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the go back button. And let's go back to my sites, my surveys. I'm going to go to builder. All right. And in my builder, I have my DQ01 dog lover survey. Okay. Now I asked my first question. Do you like dog or cats? The second one. All right. We're going to come up with something just really quickly. Again, I'm going to hit add. And again, radio select. If you are going to be doing these multiple kind of choices, you're going to want to make sure that radio select is the option. Again, just trust me. It just makes it so much easier when you got a grade. So I'm going to come over here and what do you feed your dog? All right. Additional group. See, now I have dog lover quiz. So I'm going to put it in that folder and then I'm going to put scraps, whatever is on sale. Wait, you have to feed it and only the best for my pup, which is true. Only the best for my pup. All right. I love my dog. All right, so we come in here and we're going to go ahead and hit save. Awesome. Now we got my second question, but now cool. Successful field added. Dog lover quiz that pops into 2. Awesome. I slide down to slide 2. Boom. And now I got my second question. All right, we're going to add one more and we're going to make it super simple. Again, you can add as many as you want. Just remember, the more you add, the tougher it's going to be to quiz. And that's why I want to make sure you fully understand. Keep it simple. Again, people just want a cool interaction. If you have to make it 10 questions, that's fine. But you're going to see when we start building this out, it's going to get a little complicated. So what we're going to do next is we're going to hit add and we're going to add our last question. And it's going to be radio select. Again, this time is, do you let your dog have toys? Okay. Group again, dog lover quiz. This is going to be yes. And then we're going to have no. Okay. Beanie, don't let your dogs have toys. That's bad. All right. Come over here and we're going to go ahead and hit save. All right. And that's going to give successful field added. Quiz number 3. Fantastic. Boom. Do you let your dog have toys? Now, here's the thing. When you now click on this, this is what I want you to notice. Remember, you build on the left, you customize on the right. On the right, you have it where there is the logic. So for instance, if you immediately wanted to disqualify a person because of the way they answer the first question or one of the questions, what you could do is you could select, if they selected dogs, you could say, awesome, keep on going to the next question. If they select cats, you could tell them to disqualify immediately after submit. And a disqualified value would go into the quiz itself, letting you know that the person didn't qualify. This is great when you're doing kind of a lead magnet and somebody, not a lead magnet, or you're doing a questionnaire for somebody to get on an appointment with you. And all of a sudden the question you ask is, do you have money to invest in yourself? And it's like $5,000, $3,000, $1,000, whatever. And they say no, then you can immediately disqualify them and send them to a free resource, right? Because they're not ready for it. So that's something you can do where the conditional logic. But in our case, we want to score because we want to segregate dog lovers and cat lovers, kind of keep it super simple. You can make it more advanced, but you don't need to do that. But I'm going to click on this again on the right-hand side. The disqualification and the logic would go here. Here's the tough part about this. is you can only disqualify for one thing or two things if possible. And it's the immediate, right? It's not a cumulative score. So it's not like people can score all the way. And if they get to a certain score at the end, you disqualify. They're coming out with that. They don't have that now. So this is the workaround that we're doing for that. But just wanted to let you know that it's possible to disqualify right on here. Now, the one thing that I do want to make sure I put in here is I want to put required. And the one thing I'll tell you is never, ever, ever mess with the query logic. And if you have to change this question, just create a new one if it's not the same question you want and delete the other one. Because what happens is a lot of people will try to modify these questions and it's the wrong way to go about it. You'll destroy whatever you've created. Don't do that. Best way to do it is just keep adding questions versus doing what you're not supposed to do, which is you come in here and you manipulate this thing, especially this thing at the bottom here. Now, advanced settings, if you go down, you can have custom fields and unique field names. Again, this is what is the unique placeholder for the custom field. Don't mess with this. All right. Options. If you want to add options, if you want to spread it to columns, meaning it's going to be like 1 or 2 columns, this is great on a big form, but again, you can do it. If you wanted to add another option, you can also do it in here to make it super simple. All right. So what I did do again is I made it required because I don't want people skipping that question. I'm going to come over here and make this one required. And notice again, here's my conditional logic. I can skip to certain slides or I can disqualify, but again, we're scoring. So it's going to be a little bit different. My results are going to be sent to them in an email because that's how I can control the automation and the scoring. Going to come over here, going to hit required. Ready to rock and roll. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, remember, I have to assign an email to the customer at least in a name. So I have to collect that information. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do quick add. These are the system ones. These are the ones you never really want to mess with because these are the ones that carry value for the system. So I just caution you, remember that right-hand side. Don't mess with the right-hand side too much with these when you're building these out. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go over here to first name because I at least know the person's first name. And I'm going to click on it. And I'm just going to make it required. Notice that there's not a lot of advanced options. Reason being is an actual system-wide query, and you don't ever want to mess with the query key or you never want to change these. These are the ones that are system. Leave those alone. If you need to create one, create an additional one up here under the custom fields. Just trust me, a lot of people make this mistake and it causes a lot of issues. And I'm going to do the email, and I'm just going to make that email second. And it's already required because, again, I need to have that email there in order to do that. You can also hit the verification of the email, where if somebody puts in the email, it validates it right away, so you don't get people, bouncing or whatever else. So just a really cool option there. You can actually turn it on here, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to be super fancy stuff happens with this 2 little lines up here, which is styles and options. If I wanted to make it a box, make it a line, whatever it is, I could. If I want to add colors and backgrounds, agency branding on it, whatever I want to do, add an image to the background, a header image, I can do all of that here. And if I wanted to put a footer where, it's going down, stick to card, stick to page, whatever it is, there's a lot of really cool things you can do here. And I want to enable a progress bar. Again, you can do that. I don't know why it's not letting me today, but I believe you have to hit stick to page. Yeah, see, and it gives a little progress bar, and I can do percentage instead. So now I have that, which is a pretty cool feature. And then I want to go to options. I can put a thank you message, or I can have it go to another page on the funnel, which is what we're going to do now. And I'm going to show you how to turn that on. And then themes, you have themes that you can do. I believe there was a little doggy theme, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that. Use this theme. Yep, proceed. Look how cool. You can give it a little theme in the background, and we're ready to rock and roll. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Cool. And now, using the new funnel block system that they came out with, which I think is really, really cool, we're going to make a plain Jane funnel. We're not going to put any real words on it, but we are going to show you how to create a quiz funnel really quickly just to kind of get this going and make it live, right? So if you go over to sites, let's just go to a funnel. And what we're going to do is, again, folder for everything, right? And what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to literally say this is going to be our dog lover quiz funnel. All right. If you want to put a number to it, this will be like 04, whatever it is, you can do that. But for instance, we're just going to leave it super simple. I'm going to hit confirm. And using the new funnel block system, this is really cool. Again, I'm not going to design it. I'm just going to put it together to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to go to new funnel. And I'm going to do from blank. This is going to be dog lover quiz. Okay. I'm going to hit create. When I hit create, I'll let that create for a quick second. Beautiful. I'm going to add a new step. This is dog lover quiz page. All right. URL, big on this. Always put a URL here, man. I'm going to put dog lover quiz. All right. Make it super simple. And I'm going to create the funnel step. Come directly in here, use existing. Oh, it's not using existing. I'm sorry. Create from blank. And with now these pre-built sections, what I'm going to do is kind of mess with this a little bit. You see how these all have this cool kind of FAQ, product, sections, all these kind of cool areas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, yes, perfect. Exactly what I want. It'll be something like this. I'm going to get rid of this top header. Don't need it. So there's got to be a row here somewhere. Boom. Move this all over. This is going to be for my dog lover quiz. This will be the whole thing. This is like change the button to say, again, I can find a picture of a dog real quick. Let's come over here. Go to Pixabay real quick. Dog. Awesome. There's some pooches right here. Boom. Are you a real dog lover? All right, we can go super crazy, but for instance, we'll just do that. And then attention, wannabe, and dog lovers. All right, get instant access. We're going to do this in a pop-up because we want our thing to pop up. Now, if I'm going to do a pop-up, I go to this little tiny bar up here, and there is a pop-up settings one. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me move it right here. And I'm going to build inside the pop-up. So add a row, a column, a little headline that says take the quiz. Take the quiz. All right, click this little plus sign. Look at my survey selector. Come on here. Select your survey, dog lover quiz DQ. Again, this is why naming. Look how it comes this beautiful thing, which is amazing. All right, this is great. And then the redirect action. So again, remember, you build on the left. This is the way this whole system is. You build on the left and you customize on the right. I'm in the survey area. I want when somebody fills out the survey to go to the thank you page where I can sell an additional product, book an appointment, do whatever I want. But for instance, this is what I want to happen. And then I'm going to go to the top right-hand side. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. Awesome. And I can add a little bit more, right? So if I come in here, again, hit the little top left-hand side, customize it, go to the pre-built sections. I have about, so I can put my, little picture about, I'll do it crossways. No, let's do it in white. Boom, bye, my name is blah, 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 whatever. And then I can put a nice little footer, simple footer. Look at these privileged sections. Aren't these great? All right. And then I can customize it later. This is Mary. She likes dog lovers. And then boom, I got like an instant page. So now that this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And in here, I'm going to now create a simple thank you page because I want them to go to the thank you page. At least that's the way we like to do it because I don't like when that whole thing pops up. Thank you for your survey. I like feeling complete by going to a different page. So I'm going to hit add new step and it's going to be dog lover thank you page. And then literally all I'd be doing is working on the wording on the page. And then I come in here and this is going to be DQ. Thank you. Awesome. And then we're going to create from blank because again, we have these pre-built sections. It makes it so humanly fast to create this. So I'm going to come over here and this is just going to be, you know what? I'm just going to use this header and I'm going to move this because I like the darker background, get rid of that top and I don't need that. It's just going to be like a big old thank you. Check your email. Eventually, when they have a quiz funnel, based on your results, you'll be going to a certain page. Until they come out, this is a great alternative. Literally, I guarantee you it's going to come out like 2 days later after I make this video. That's always what happens. Andy and I will be creating these things, and then 2 days later, the new update comes, and we're like, darn it. So, and I got my footer. That's it. Now I got my thank you page. Awesome. So now comes the fun part, which is creating the automations. So let's go over to our automations. And as always, the first thing we're going to do is create a folder. We create a folder and we're going to label it 07 because that's the order. Dog lover quiz. Always create the folders. Always create the folders. Always name the things, right? So we named the survey DQ1. So what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to start from scratch. And again, naming, just always name the right way, guys. Again, I can't stress this enough. DQ01 survey submitted. And I'm just going to put a little calculate score. There we go. All right, cool. Now, first thing, let's make this big again. We have our starting action. Our starting action, starting trigger. Let's try add new trigger right here. Is going to be the survey submitted. Survey submitted. All right. And we always have to filter because this is a specific survey. I'm going to hit survey is dog lover DQ. See, this is why DQ, get it? It makes it super easy. You can also name the funnel the same thing. Come in here, add a filter. The filter is going to be not disqualified because remember, if we were adding the disqualification, you would want to only score somebody who's gone through the whole thing. Because we didn't add it, we don't have to worry about it. But just in case you wanted to do it, you only wanted to do it with people that weren't disqualified. Disqualifying is false. We could leave it on there too. It's not going to hurt anything because we don't have a disqualification thing, but you could just leave it here. Survey is. So anybody that, regardless if they qualified or did qualify, you added that feature there, they would still get their calculated score. So I'm going to hit save trigger. First thing I always do, you guys know this, is tag. So I want to come in, anybody that tagged, that filled out the dog lover survey, I want to make sure I know about it. So if later on I want to market to them, I can. So I'm going to do dog lover survey, make it super simple, add the tag. Awesome, save action. All right, so now we're going to get into the questions. So the one thing that I like to do is, and I kind of lower this a little bit for you guys, is I duplicate my tab and I like to go back to the survey that I was in so I can see what questions are coming up. So if I hit back to workflows up on top and I go over to sites and I go back to surveys and I go to builder. Here, I have this dog survey up. So now I can have this survey in here so I can measure it back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first question. I'm going to get my first label and I'm going to copy it. All right. Now that I've copied it, I go to my first if else, because now what I have to do is I have to give each value a score. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do if else. The condition is the question. And if you need it to be shorter, just shorten the question because sometimes it doesn't let you do too many characters. So the action name is always going to be the question that you're scoring. So I'm going to come over here. This is going to be yes. I'm going to come over here and then select contact details because the question is inside the contact. Remember, that's why we did it in a custom fields. And because I copied the label, all I have to do is paste it under the select. Watch how I did it again. I'm going to delete this. Control A, just delete. I'm going to I click on select first. I go to contact details because that's where the question lives. Then I click on select again. I'm going to go and paste, come over here. Do you like dogs or cats? Is dogs. All right. Now I add a branch. This is going to be no. And I come in here, contact details. Again, same thing. Click on the select, paste the question. Is no. Or cats, right? And then the nut branch, I call the error branch because if they didn't answer that question, something's wrong with the survey, all right? Either I forgot to hit the required fields or this is gonna mess up my whole entire calculation, so not to do that, right? So now I hit save, so here they are. Now, based on this, right, if they answered yes, we're gonna just make it a 30-point quiz. So if they answered yes, right, so I come over here and the next thing I'm gonna do is I have to give it a score. So I'm gonna hit math operation. Now you're like, well, what score? Remember, we created a custom field called dog lover score. All right, dog lover max score. I'm going to add 10 points if they answer the question correctly. And then I'm going to update the field again because it's the same field. And then I'm just going to put dog lover score. Okay. And I'm going to hit save action. Awesome. Now, because I created that dog lover score here, I'm going to copy this, copy action, and I'm put it in here. And I can literally add a value of 0. And this is if they answered cats. And if there's an error, I'm going to do an internal notification to myself, letting me know that, hey, something's wrong. I'm going to do a particular user. I'm going to select a user. Here's Nuno. All right. And there is a problem with your dog survey. All right. Come over here. And I just send myself a quick little email. Because if they ended up in that column, that means the score didn't register or something happened while they were going through the process. So I always want to make sure I have like an error column. Next is I got to go to my other one. Now, it doesn't matter which one I pick because you're going to use something called a go-to. So just pick one. I like keeping things down the center. So I'm just going to pick this one. Because now once they answer that question, I have to go to the next question. So this is if else, right? Let me go to my other tab. The next question is, what do you feed your dog? Control C. All right. And that's the next question. And then if I want to get the answers, I have the different answers. You can click on options on the right-hand side and just copy scraps. All right. So contact details. Remember, I go back to select, not scraps, but what do you feed your dog? What do you feed your dog? Okay. Right here. And then is scraps. Okay. Now I add another branch and we're going to do this for all of them. The next one was whatever's on sale. I'm going to copy that. All right. So come over here again. Whatever's on sale. Contact details. You could start writing the question and select. What do you feed your dog? Is whatever's on sale. Add another branch. Come over here. Go back to the question. Wait, you have to feed it. I'm going to get 0 points for that, right? And then same thing. Contact details. What do you feed your dog? You see how I'm always doing the question? So I put the answer here and here, and then I put the actual question inside the select area because I need to see it. Is, wait, you have to feed it. And then I add another branch, which is the last answer. As you can see, if you had a lot of questions or a lot of things, that like this can get pretty hairy. That's why you want to keep it super simple. And honestly, people will react to super simple because they don't want to take a 47 quiz. Now, if you want intent, like his friend Perry says, Perry Belcher, if you want intent, then make a 72-page survey, because then if they're really filling that out, then they're interested. But for this case of just making it fun and just knowing that this has the ability of doing that, you can do it. And you could do a 72-page one, but just understand it's going to take you a hot minute. And then here, only the best for my pup. And then also we're going to make sure we add that error branch. All right, cool. Now, wait a second. What happens if they go in the error or what happens if they go? Well, if they go in the error, you want the survey to stop quiz scoring because you're going to have the wrong score. But what if they filled out the dog lover, but you put only this path if they filled out like, no, if they like dogs or cats? Well, there's this cool feature called Go To that goes to any action. Now notice, hands up on keyboard, right? See the things that are flashing on the screens? This means that, okay, well, where do you want me to go to if somebody answered, yes, they do like dogs? Well, I want you to go to this question because I need you to end up in the next question area. And that's all we're going to do. And we're going to do that again here. So you're going to see this twice. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here and you see this dog lover score. I'm going to copy it because it's the same. Now we're just going to put in here, right? So we got to kind of think about it, right? So we have scraps, whatever's on sale. We do have to feed it, only the best for my dog. So we're going to give people base. Remember, 10 points is what they can get for this particular question. We're going to do like, if they answered scraps, we'll give them like 7. If our answer whatever's on sale, again, let's just copy this. Whatever's on sale, we'll give them a 5. Wait, you have to feed it, gets a big 0. Okay, come in here, 0. Copy action again. Only the best for my tup gets a 10. Awesome. And then we're going to copy that same error internal message, copy. Awesome. Then, like I said, I like to keep it in the center, right? So depending on what the answer, I still got one more question. So I'm going to create the next one, if else, all right? The next question is, do you let your dog have toys? Control C, let's copy that. That's going to be the question here. And it's going to be the yes, all right? Select contact details, all right? In the select, do you let dog have toys is yes, all right? We're going to add a branch, no. Contact details, remember, because it's always in the context. The answer is always going to be in the context for this thing. We're going to come over here and it's going to be nope. Oh, not nope, sorry. First thing is we got to find the question. Do you let your dog have toys? Answer is no. And we're going to hit error branch again, error, and we're going to hit save action. Awesome. But remember, only this one was able to get to this, so we have to create these go-tos that bring these people to the center again. So go to, click on this, hands off keyboard, see the things flashing, put it back to the next question, correct the next one, because ultimately all you're trying to do is get people to go down the same path, so then you can actually score this thing. Again, hands off keyboard, things are flashing, same question, go to, all right, hands off keyboard again, there's things are flashing, put it all in there. So no matter which path they go, they always end up to the next question. And then yes or no, we need to score this. So if yes, they let them have toys, we're going to give them a 10. All right. And if they get no toys, they get a 0. So we're just going to click on there and give 0. Awesome. Now this is all great and good. And again, just the error. All right. And we have to do one more if, because now we have to actually score the person coming into the quiz. So the next thing we're going to do is if else again. This is going to be actually score. All right. So what we're going to do is, because remember, it's been calculated this whole entire time. What we're going to do is if its score is 30, which is max, parentheses, max, we're going to come over here and contact details. This is really cool. We type in dog lover max score equals 30, then they're at the max. We're going to add a branch. Okay, dog lover. All right, come over here. Contact details, because remember, the score is in the contacts. I'm going to click on select, dog lover score, less than or equal to 29. And we're going to add a condition and greater than, let's say 10, right? Well, actually, it's going to be greater than, because anybody that got a 0, we're going to put them in the not a dog lover, you should like cats, right? So what we're going to do is, and again, you can figure out this math, but I just want to show you how you do this. You're going to do contact details again, because it's always about the same value. Contact details, dog lover max score is going to be greater than or equal to 2. You get a 1 or a 0, they get no. All right. Actually, you know what? We're going to say 5. All right. Oop, let's go back. Sorry about that. So that gives us 2, right? We got to add one more branch. Is now anything less than 4. So come over here. The branch is not a dog lover. What did I score for this? Okay, dog lover, not a dog lover. And then contact details again. Let's hit select. Dog lover max score. Dog lover max score. Let's see what we do. This was, I think, 5. This is going to be less than or equal to 4. Okay. So, and then the none branch would always be the error branch. I always keep that, at least in this situation. Okay. So now if they get a score of 30, they get a tag. You are dog lover, you know, dog lover, yay. Dog lover extreme. Okay. They get this tag, This will be add a contact tag. This will be dog lover. Okay. Dog lover. Okay. Oh, add new tag. And then this one will be you like cats. All right. Add a contact tag. Cats. You like cats. Okay, boom, something like that. And now I can individually market to these people based on what they want, right? So email, send email. Congratulations, you're a super dog lover on our score, blah, blah, blah. Or you're an okay dog lover. Help make it up by buying your dog a treat, or like, or buying her a class is for dog lovers, whatever it is. You literally can go bananas and you can create whatever actions you want off of here. Put them into a nurturing sequence, do whatever you want once you get to this point. But the one thing that you have to remember always, like the other part, is that while we're here and we have to get here, we still have to make sure that all paths that are required lead to here. So if you go back to this one, right? This question right here, we need to make sure that both of these end up in the score. So we're going to go with the go to again, come in here, hit save action, hands off keyboard, boom, put it in the next question. And then here is where you want the separate kind of result for everything else. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can go into this thing and you basically can create some pretty cool quizzes, have some pretty diverse results for your individuals. Let's say you have multiple products and you want people to kind of basically go in different routes based on what they select. In the healthcare niche, some people want to lose weight, some people want to gain muscle. They take the quiz, you can immediately identify and make sure they get the right service. If you're in the marketing world, maybe they're interested in Google ads, maybe they're interested in Facebook ads, maybe they want both. You can do this where a quiz or a survey can do this. So this has plenty of options to do so. Now, like I said, we're probably going to roll out with this video and HighLevel will come up with this like quiz scoring system. But in the meantime, this is a really good way to diversify your clients, get another lead magnet, and really get it where you can customize the service you get to your clients. So hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.